Over the last few months, Cardano has seen an ultimate dip of around 65%. The fear, the uncertainty, the doubt is closing in on Cardano like never before. ADA negativity at an all-time high. And in no way am I sorry for how bullish I am on Cardano. What is up, everyone? Welcome to Crypto Capital Venture. Hit the subscribe and like on the way in. It means a lot to me. Let's jump into this Cardano video. We're going to talk about a lot of different things. Change of scenery once again. I really, truly do appreciate your patience. The next 2 to 3 months are going to be all over the place for us. We're going through a big move. There's going to be a lot of settling in. So I'm going to do my best just in environments like this, what you see here, to just provide top-notch, solid, quality content. I hope you all are okay with it. I appreciate your patience once again. Let's jump into the Cardano video. This isn't financial advice, everybody. This is me tracking my crypto journey. In particular, a lot of it having to do with Cardano, the Cardano ecosystem. And right now, we're just in an opportunity zone. It is what it is. We're not in this environment where we're just enjoying all-time highs and we're just kind of getting hype about that. We're literally in an environment of, okay, opportunity. At least that's where I'm coming from, and I'm tracking that with you, that data. So real quick, Put the charts aside. Fundamentally, wow. Cardano is this just happened late last night. 1 million delegations on Cardano blockchain. We're just getting started. If you're an investor, right, and this is why I'm like kind of hype about it. If you're an investor, if you're looking at these long-term charts and you're looking for opportunity and you're accumulating here and there and you're profit taking at all-time highs and all this good stuff, and you're on the macro and you're looking at the potential for any crypto, in this case Cardano, when stuff like this happens, just have to pay attention. 1 million delegations. So congrats to all you ADA holders out there. That's incredible. A million staked wallets on Cardano blockchain and growing, right? So congrats to all you out there holding ADA. Congrats, Charles, on the accomplishment, IOHK, the team over IOHK, just everybody involved. It's just really cool data, and it's bullish data, because with that being said, it sounds like a lot. This is just the beginning, and that is what's so exciting for me. So let's jump into the charts. Let's talk about this. First, let's start on a weekly update. First things first. We talked about in the last video this 50-week moving average, the blue line around $1. I think it's around $1.40, I guess $1.46 or so. Around 6 hours left before this weekly candle closes. Not quite sure Cardano's going to make a move like that in the next 6 hours. It certainly could. We'd really like to see this weekly candle close above the 50-week moving average. Just not sure it's going to happen, and we have to pay attention to that. And we're going to look at this data point in terms of where it is on the oversold part of the charts comparative to recent data, historical data. But before we do, this is the story. 65% ultimate dip from all-time high. Boom, right? And right back here was the Alonzo hard fork. We knew consolidation was possible. We were hoping for just kind of consolidation to the 20-week moving average, the green line. It's similar to what happened in previous hard forks. Mary hard fork, boom, into the green line, the 20-week moving average. Shelly hard fork, into the green line and slightly below. But putting that aside, one thing is true. We anticipated consolidation, right? And a big piece of this story, for months, we were anticipating the actual move that just happened. Here's a 6-hour chart. This is the move that happened. We were talking about this move for months, and it happened. We were ready for it. And that is what is so key with technical analysis. And if you have the patience on these charts, if you have the patience with crypto, you've gotten the most difficult thing out of the way, right? And so when we're looking at this dip, let's just talk about what happened, right? Comparative to historical data. After Shelly hard fork, 54% or so ultimate dip. After Mary hard fork, an ultimate dip of around 40%. Now after Alonzo hard fork, and from that swing high before Alonzo hard fork, ultimately a 65% dip. So it's more volatile, obviously. It's more drastic of a dip, but it's a huge dip, and it's something we've experienced post hard forks before for Cardano. So it's really nothing out of the ordinary. And ultimately, if you look at all three of these hard fork dips, post hard fork dips, what is it? Like an average of probably right around 50% or so. So here's where we are. And if we're digging into this data now in the weekly, check this out. this is intriguing to me, and this is kind of where that doorway of opportunity opens. Anytime any crypto is getting 30-40% dip, there, you have to start raising your eyebrow. We talk about that a lot. But now 65% dip. And when we're talking about this blue line, this blue 50-week moving average, right? Cardano may be about to close a weekly candle below that. The last time that this happened, and again, we have to pay attention to this because this could lead to some capitulation. We want to see Cardano get back above that area as soon as possible. But the last time Cardano did this on the way down, breaking and closing below the 50-week moving average, that blue line, was all the way back here. And this was in February of 2020, going into the COVID dip. Now, simultaneous with that, if we're looking at the momentum oscillators, check this out. Cardano approaching this 35 line on the slower moving momentum oscillator, the RSI. At the time back then when Cardano was breaking that 50-week moving average, Cardano was basically getting ready to capitulate in March of 2020 at this over, and it really actually technically isn't even hitting that 30 line, but it's oversold on that chart, right? And you can just see Cardano approaching that 35 line on the RSI, similar to the March 2020 swing low. I don't know, and I can never tell you. We have targets. We just hit some targets. We're there right now. We're consolidating. It's no surprise where we're consolidating, right in the middle of 130 to 140, the target zone we've been talking about for months. I don't know if we're going to go lower. We may, and you want to be ready for an environment like this. You want to be ready for an environment where Cardano is kind of coming down into this area. But one thing that I know is it is getting overextended, and this is where opportunity arises in crypto in general. Not only that, you can just see it was oversold on the stock RSI back then, and right now you can see Cardano for weeks, actually for it looks like a little over a month, oversold on the quicker moving momentum oscillator, the stock RSI. A large bounce is likely getting ready to be in play for Cardano over the next couple of weeks. So I would say keep your eyes open for something like that. Regardless, everyone, there's going to be hate in the comments below. It is what it is. I'm so used to it. Sometimes I speak to it because I need to vent a little bit because it's just non-stop, right? Especially, why do people waste their time talking and commenting about ADA if they don't like it so much? But it's fear, right? It's uncertainty. It's doubt. I see a lot of people saying, get out of Cardano. And that's just, it's such an amateur thing to say in crypto, not just with Cardano. When something's down 65%, it's not when it's, in my view, okay, that's not when you're selling. That's when you're starting to think about buying. That's my approach, right? And everybody's approach is different. So here's the daily chart. This is what we're checking out. The daily is just looking ugly, right? We have this 50-day moving average on the daily chart getting ready to cross below the 200, that red line. That's number one. We already have a 20-day moving average crossing below the 200-day moving average, and you get a similar vibe on that chart. Again, just like the weekly, the last time this type of move happened, it almost happened back here, post-Shelly hard fork, but we got that bounce to the upside. The last time this truly happened was back here in this COVID swing low with an ultimate dip of 76%. You see the 20-day moving average is falling below that 200-day moving average in red, and then shortly after, the 50-day moving average falling below the 200-day moving average. So kind of getting a similar vibe on the chart. That's why we say there might be more room for some capitulation. Maybe we're testing this dollar range once again, if not lower, testing this area of support down here that Cardano has been at before, the 90 cent to $1 range. You want to be prepared for an environment like that. But if that happens, we're getting into a very similar oversold environment that Cardano was in all the way back in March 2020, and Cardano never looked back after that move. So what would happen if something similar happened this time around? Going over to the zoomed in charts, here we are, everybody. We've been talking about this move for months, the descending triangle breakout move to the downside. We've hit the target 130 to 140 that we've talked about for so long, and look where Cardano's consolidating. I talk about patience all the time. This is why. It has taken us just almost daily videos tracking Cardano through all this volatility to get to our target. It's taken months, it's taken patience, And now that Cardano has hit the target, look at it consolidating right at this target range, 130 to 140. We see it all so often on these charts, and it's happening right now. If you say technical analysis doesn't work, this has worked absolutely flawlessly. If you really now look back at what we've just done over the last months of doing these videos. We started anticipating the descending triangle. It happened, it played out. We even got the breakout to the upside right here. And we talk about, what do we talk about? Pullback rates, throwback rates. So 60% of the time, throwback rates. And look what happened. Cardano got a throwback. We're looking for support at the trend line for a bullish bounce continuation to the upside. That's a conservative approach to crypto. It didn't happen. We got a bearish confirmation to the downside. We broke the lower trend line to the downside. And then look what happened. We got a pullback to the lower trend line this time. So not a pullback, we got a throwback, which happens 58% of the time. This is based off Bolkowski, the patternsite.com. Got the pullback and rejected, right? So that's another kind of a bearish confirmation. And then we continue to the target. It is textbook technical analysis playing out. You can't even say, it has nothing to do with me, everybody, by the way, too. Even this data that we use, Bolkowski on the patternsite.com, it's a huge piece of what I apply to crypto charts, and it just is so reliable, and this is why. You see it play out. This is just me tracking it with you. I'm just kind of interpreting it on the charts with you, and here we are. We were ready for it, and how you approach it is up to you. How I approach it is up to me, right? But, I've been buying some Cardano, bought some Cody as well lately, and, I'll continue to accumulate as Cardano continues to just consolidate in a very, very large way. On the weekly chart, we've talked about, you can even open up just real quick, because I've been talking about it, Ethereum all the way back here. And I know it was a quicker move, but in the middle of that last bull market in 2017, Ethereum dipped around 70%. And it was a huge dip for Ethereum in the middle of that last bull market, almost 70% before continuing to the upside. It was a quicker dip, but nonetheless, it was a dip. And if we go back to the Cardano charts, you can just see Cardano putting in a huge dip. Right now, let's see if we can get a nice weekly close somehow in the next 6 hours or so for this Cardano candle. Time will tell. We anticipate more downside, but in my view, the doorway to opportunity has begun. It's opened, and how you approach it, you figure that out. But zooming out on everything going on, everybody, you have stuff like this happening. I just tweeted this like less than an hour ago. It's happening. The SundaeSwap public testnet tonight, another stepping stone towards full functionality on Cardano blockchain. I've been saying this for a long time. SundaeSwap is going to impress. There's their tweet. This evening, we will be providing access to the SundaeSwap public testnet. Excited for everyone to get the SundaeSwap experience and check out what we've been working on for these past several months. So this is one project. This is just one project, which I think is going to be massive, very successful. But the Cardano ecosystem is waking up, and it's waking up after all of this has happened. So all of this has happened, and it's all the beginning. Like, this is what I'm seeing. I see this as the beginning. I think so many people are zoomed in on the charts, and they're just like, oh, Cardano's down so much, this isn't a good opportunity. But this is the launch pad, and it's well over a year worth of launch pad. Really, this whole entire chart is the launch pad. But we're really so early stage in Cardano, I believe. A $500 billion market cap, which is so attainable for Cardano on the macro, is a $15 Cardano. Cardano's at $1.35 right now. I really truly think I'm going to be looking back on these videos, and I'm going to be replaying these videos and saying, at $15, look at that. Look how far we've come. $1 trillion market cap. That's going to be an epic video. That's around a $31 Cardano. I'm here long term, everybody. I'm not throwing hopium at you. I'm not trying to sell you on Cardano. I'm excitedly tracking my journey. Cardano is a big part of it. And along the way, the opportunities like SundaeSwap, the opportunities like World Mobile, and all these other new projects coming onto Cardano blockchain, they are just brand new. And it is extremely exciting as we approach crypto from an opportunity standpoint. So if you want to take part in the ISO, the actual launch of SundaeSwap DEX when it happens, and the ISO 5 epoch period once it happens, If you want to take part in that, stake with a CCV pool. All of our pools are approved for the ISO, and our newest pool right here is CCV4. You can see active stake. That's actually not right. The active stake, that's the original stake. Where's the live stake? 15 million is the live stake right now. And you can see CCV original pool 63 million. So if you're watching this, you can see, and I've been mentioning, we're trying to spread out these pools. We really are trying to spread out these pools to just provide a good experience to all of you delegators out there. And our newest pool, CCV4, is where you want to stake. And you can stake with any of them. They're all approved for the SundaeSwap ISO to get the Sundae tokens during that 5 epoch period. But our newest pool is obviously the least filled, right? And 67 million, I think, is saturation point. So we're trying to keep all pools below that, spread it all out. So if you all are out there, if you can stake with CCV4, can move some of your ADA to CCV4, I'd appreciate it if you're willing to do so as we continue to level these out. So I appreciate all of you cruising by. I really do. Those are my thoughts coming to you from my car. Let me know your thoughts. Again, 1 million delegations. We have this leading DEX. I mean, this DEX, they just tweeted this today. Look at this. Look at the engagement. Their exposure to Cardano community is so good. And I think what they're building technically is so good as well. But just really exciting time. So I appreciate you coming by. Hit the subscribe. Let's see how this weekly candle closes. Let's see what these charts do for Cardano. Maybe putting in a higher low right here. That would be nice before continuation to the upside. But be prepared for that downside, everybody. For me, it's opportunity. What is it for you? That's up to you. The ball is in your court. Hit the subscribe and like. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.